You know, if you really want to understand human nature, skip the self-help aisle and just go watch a toddler in a sandbox for 5 minutes. Seriously, if you just sit and quietly observe, I guarantee you're going to learn way more about genuine, unfiltered happiness right there than any best-selling book could ever teach you. Just hand a kid a simple wooden stick. For the next 20 magical minutes, that entirely ordinary piece of wood is literally the single greatest possession in human history to them. It's not just a branch. It's a sword to slay dragons. It's a spoon for an invisible feast, a magic wand, a microphone for a sold-out stadium tour. Their imagination is totally boundless, and the joy is just completely pure. But here is the really fascinating part about this whole scene. It's the absolute simplicity of the moment. That child is not glancing over their shoulder, anxiously checking if Arav's stick is, longer or straighter or shinier than theirs. It's just their stick. And to them, it's already perfect. End of story. Now, let's fast forward a few decades and look at adult reality. Meet Radhika. Radhika just scored a promotion at work. And honestly, this is genuinely fantastic news. There is a celebratory cake in the break room, she's got that glowing LinkedIn post going with the little clapping emojis, and everyone in the office is sincerely thrilled for her. It's a moment of real, well-deserved pride. And that feeling, that pure, unadulterated joy of a hard-earned win, it is wonderful. But, the funny thing about human nature is that this incredible feeling usually only lasts for about, 6 hours. Because then, the inevitable happens. Radhika is sitting at home later that evening, the room is quiet, and her phone lights up. She casually taps a notification and discovers that her old college classmate, the one who used to desperately copy her assignments right before the deadline, just became a vice president at some obscure fintech company that apparently pays obscenely well. And almost instantly, Radhika's own promotion, the very thing she was absolutely beaming about just a few hours ago, quietly starts to shrink. It starts feeling a little less impressive. Suddenly, it feels almost like a consolation prize. And the really wild part here, nobody made her feel that way. No one called her up to say her promotion wasn't great. She did this entirely to herself in the exact amount of time it takes to watch one Instagram story. So that brings us to a really fascinating question. Why do we only ever look up? What is it about the strange mechanics of how we compare ourselves that makes us feel completely conditioned to only look upward at the leaderboard of life? Think about your own scrolling habits for a second. We'll effortlessly scroll past 10 posts of people who seemingly are doing better than us, having more than us, traveling farther than us, and we feel this tiny, sharp sting every single time. Yet we never look at the empty space below. We never scroll past someone having a tough time and pause to think, actually, I'm doing pretty great. Nobody out there is celebrating their own life by comparing it to the person who didn't get the promotion or the house. We just don't do it.
It's almost like our brains have secretly installed this wildly glitchy app, an app that only ever shows the leaderboard of players currently ranked above us, and it has quietly, permanently deleted everyone below into the shadows. It just totally skews our reality.
Now, to see how completely absurd this logic is, let's mirror it back onto a child. Just imagine this, a 5-year-old sitting at his candlelit birthday party, absolutely bawling his eyes out. Why? Because his beautiful, delicious 2-layer cake, which he was literally thrilled about 10 minutes ago, is suddenly ruined. And why is it ruined? Because he heard a rumor that his cousin, whose cake he hasn't even seen yet, might be getting a 3-layer cake. We would never ever let a child behave this way, right? We wouldn't indulge that for a second. A parent would gently but firmly put a hand on their shoulder, look them in the eye and say, "Hey, your cake is great. Just eat your cake." Yet, as grown-ups, we do the exact same thing every single day. We just swap out the birthday cakes for adult markers of success. We do it with our salaries, the square footage of our houses, our job titles, the cars parked in the driveway. We literally sit around quietly mourning our perfectly beautiful 2-layer lives. Except now that we're adults, there's nobody around to gently remind us to just eat our cake. And this spills into an even bigger trap, because this comparison game, it never actually finishes. Look at how endless a horizon is. There is no magical scoreboard in the sky where you finally cross a finish line, ring a bell, and get to stop competing. It just doesn't exist. The exhausting truth is that somebody is always going to have a slightly bigger house. Someone will always have a slightly better title, or a slightly shinier stick. And if you choose to chase that horizon your whole life, you're going to arrive at the very end of it having spent decades constantly measuring your life against everyone else's, and barely any time actually living your own. Now, to be totally clear, this isn't a race to the bottom.
I'm not saying you should completely stop noticing other people's lives or just close your eyes to their wins. That's not realistic. And honestly, being able to genuinely celebrate other people's victories is just part of being a decent, empathetic human being.
So the crucial point here is simply this. Stop making your own joy conditional. Stop making your happiness entirely dependent on staying ahead of everyone else. You don't need to frantically compare downward to feel better about yourself, and you certainly do not need to endlessly compare upward to make yourself feel worse.
Take a breath and just reflect on this really grounding truth. Somewhere out there right now, someone would gladly trade everything they have for the job you are currently quietly unimpressed by. They would trade for the house you think is just okay. They would love the life you keep measuring against everyone ahead of you, instead of just living in it.
So today, maybe try putting the leaderboard down. Just turn it off. Notice your own 2 layers. Notice your own stick, and actually enjoy them the exact same way you did back when you were 5 years old in that sandbox before anyone had taught you otherwise. Eat your cake, enjoy your stick.
I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to carry with you. Whose race are you actually running? Because I promise you, life becomes incredibly peaceful the moment you finally stop keeping score against people who were never actually in your race to begin with.